Well, I'm afraid I got some bad news. So Monday night, I went to a little meet after work and got home and decided I'm gonna finally get this methanol or water methanol injection system working again. So a couple weeks ago it stopped working, like the power switch would come on but it wouldn't activate the spray because there's a light that indicates that is working. Well, I was over here, let me see if I can open it up. The rear located battery has the power for the water meth over here, and I noticed where the shrink wrap is, this is for me, I put it on there because the last job wasn't done right. It wasn't crimped or anything. I actually grabbed it with my hand when I was jumping a car at work, and the wires just fell away from each other. I was like, okay, so that was probably the reason why it didn't have power, or wasn't pumping rather. So I went ahead and fixed that, and then all seemed fine. I went and took it for a test drive, and the meth system started working again. But the weird thing is, it felt slower than not using meth, which it was noticeable too. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then at the same time, I noticed the turbo sounded kind of funny. And honestly, I've been having a few situations recently where I was kind of under the conclusion I was having some problems with the turbo. But anyway, so I pulled over, popped the hood, and I realized that the line for the water meth injection popped off. This push lock fitting is a bit worn out, so it wasn't keeping the line in there like it's supposed to. So it popped out, sprayed my whole engine in water meth, which I think would be a pretty bad fire hazard if it was hot enough. But anyway, I got lucky there. Put it back on, figured, all right, I know it works now, so I'm not going to test it until I get a new fitting. But I was kind of curious as to why my turbo was making the funny sound. The next thing I know, I went to do another pull, and it was only building 4 psi. So don't mind him, he's just a fighter jet. Get some of those around here from McGill Air Force Base. Anyway, yeah, so turbo's only building 4 psi. Sounded kind of funny. It didn't have the loud hissing noise that it usually has. It was like a lower volume and like a whooshy sound. Almost sounded like there was fucking water going through the compressor wheel. So I'm thinking something's bad with the seals or something like that, and it's been burning oil, and I was kind of in denial. I thought the smoke coming out of the exhaust, or I was hoping the smoke coming out of the exhaust was from a bad fuel pump that was getting weak and running lean at an idle, because I was also getting fuel cut and stuff like that. Like randomly I'd go wide open throttle like mid RPM and it would just cut real bad. When I swapped the pump out and the fuel cut stopped, it didn't happen again. The car seemed to run the same as far as like everything else. It ran normal, but the smoke was still there. So I was like, okay, I just got to admit to myself that it's burning oil. So I think that the turbo has been on its way out. And this turbo, it's an old precision turbo from when this car was boosted back in like 2008, 2009. And man, it's like a precision T3 204E. Like it doesn't even have the same number or identifications as the new precisions do. And this turbo only has, I think, 28,000 miles on it, previous owner said. Around 28,000 miles in this turbo on low boost. So that's kind of crazy, but yeah, it's definitely acting up. So I'm gonna take the inlet pipe off and kind of inspect it and, you know, see what I can find physically. But I'm probably gonna try to be budget wise with it and bring the turbo to Boost Lab, which is local here in Tampa, and have them rebuild it and hopefully modify it a little bit better. Maybe port it, maybe do a bigger compressor wheel, maybe do ball bearing if they're able to. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so I'm going to be driving the Jetta again. The back end's still messed up. I actually decided to not go to Fix Fest this year, which really sucks because I haven't missed a year in 5 years now. I love that event, I go every year. But I'm gonna go to my cousin's shop and get the damage pulled out this Saturday instead of going to the event. So yeah, that's the latest I got. Rabbit's turbo seems to be done for, and you know me, it's time to upgrade then. So I'll get some money saved up and put a better turbo on it, and eventually we're gonna be doing the reflash with United Motorsports and all that stuff too. But for the time being, I'm gonna be back in the Jetta in all of its glory. And by the way, for those who don't know, I got the C2 intake manifold on it with the United Motorsports tune on 93, 6-speed swap. I got just a list of mods on this thing. Diesel Geek Sigma 6 shifter, upgraded clutch. It's a BFI stage 2, and the disc went bad, so I replaced it with a, what brand was it? Jetta upgraded organic disc. BFI stage 2 mounts all around, limited slip differential from Pelican, and Raxels. So yeah, but if I have time this Saturday after the damage is pulled out, I'm going to install the Evo header. So right now I have a Mark 6 updated header on it, with a pseudo downpipe that's been all hacked to shit, and the flex joint went bad. I had an exhaust shop replace the flex joint. As you can see, their weld job was just horrible. It literally bottlenecks. So I'm gonna get the Evo header on this Saturday, hopefully, if I have time. If not, I'm gonna try to battle it within the week after that, finally. So this thing will be full bolt-ons. You know, we'll see how she runs then. It's finally getting cold out here in Florida, and by cold I mean 50s and 60s, which is good enough for me. So yeah, anyway, with further updates I shall make more videos. See you guys.